Hello, this is Blu-ray Cinema talking to you in another video today, and we're talking about boutique labels. Why have boutique labels become mainstream instead of obscure? Now, about 12, 13 years ago, in 2011, 12, 13, boutique labels were a niche, which means they had B movies and movies that came out that were not big movies. They were not blockbuster movies. They were small movies like Ghost Town, The Town That Dreads Sundown, Ghost Story, The Monster Squad, Tits by our films at the time. Movies like Bound, films that Vineyard Syndrome were some little trauma, but some films like Cycles in Love, Ice Cream Man, Madman, not Madman, Madman. And then you had Arrow doing Spider Baby, and Lionsgate was their own thing. But you had Blue Underground and Synapse doing Intruder, and Full Moon has always been Full Moon, so they were not necessarily niche, but they were their own stuff. They made their own movies, which they always have done. And they took a few European movies with Klaus Kinski, all that stuff. Okay, so when did they become big? Well, last couple years, Vineyard Syndrome, who did all this weird stuff, is now doing main big movies. Like Southern Comfort, that's kind of big. Navy SEALs, which not many people like, including myself. Congo, which Bruce Campbell will tell you he hates. He never liked that movie to begin with, and I rewatched it, I think within last year, and I concur. And now, last couple months, or within this past year, Finger Cinema has gotten The Golden Child, The Dark Half, and Dark Half is not big, but still, it's kind of popular. I rewatched it too, and there's a lot of stuff I like and stuff I don't. And Jade is big, and I to tell you the truth, Jade is William Friggins' crap. It's a crap movie. William Friggin know at the end of the day that movie became crap, and it's just a movie that doesn't make any sense, and it's not good, and nobody should have that on their shelves at all. Arrow starts getting stuff like Demolition Man, Deep Blue Sea, Desperado, Cobra, which I don't care for Cobra. I rewatched it too, and you know what? The Mask I don't like, and Spawn I don't like here. Spawn I like a little bit more, but excuse me. But here's the thing about The Mask and Spawn. There was some things I like about Mask, but the music and Jim Carrey starts getting I'm not saying annoying, but it's not funny to me anymore. I mean, a little bit is, but then it just gets too ridiculous where it's not even fun. And the Cuban Pete shit, not even worth my time. Not even worth my time. Now, people are gonna hate me for saying it, and you have right to your opinion. Yes, you do. But I don't like The Mask anymore. Spawn, I have a problem with it, which means it starts out great and then drags, and the clown is a little bit annoying. But there's a lot of it I like. I may have to rewatch that though, because there's a lot of it I like, and a lot of it it's like it's not painful. It just doesn't work anymore. Like The Mask doesn't work anymore. It don't. It gets kind of annoying, and then Cuban Pete is not funny anymore. It's not me. I did rewatch Under Siege because I didn't know if I liked that more, and that one I still like. Knockoff is come to MVD, and they're always doing niche. They're not doing big stuff. And Knockoff is, some of it's good and some of it just drags. It's like not stupid, ridiculous where it's fun. It's just not fun anymore. Like Bloodsport is fun. Lionheart, I am telling you, also known as AWOL, which I didn't know that, is boring. because he's in the desert and it just gets. Lionheart just drags. It's a good action film. No, there's not much action in it. It's more like drama piece, but he's in desert and it drags. So any movie collectors that want it but never seen it, just watch the Lionheart and believe me, you'll see it drag and say, wait, this isn't action. This isn't John Van Damme, Time Cop, or I think Time Cop he reaches pinnacle, but I think once he did Bloodsport, Black Eagle, Hard Target. I think Hard Target where it's like Van Damme said, you know what? Some of the movies I did are not that great, and I'm sorry, but Knockoff isn't one of them. Double Impact isn't one of them. I'm sorry, they just got old and tiresome. And I like Van Damme on certain things, but not everything. Stallone I like on some things, but not everything. I might give Demolition Man one more chance because there's a lot more stuff I like about than I hate. So I got, and Deep Blue Sea, a lot more stuff I like about than I don't like. So those two I might get to Arrow. Down the line, The Mask, absolutely, positively not. And I said I might lose some subscribers or viewers because of it. But that's my opinion because it's not painful. The Mask is... No, let me reiterate this right now. The Mask is not painful. It's just that Jim Carrey, his humor, it goes a long way, and it's no too much. I mean, it's a good performance. I'll give it that. Acting's good. I'll give it that. But it starts kind of superhero-y before superhero movies became huge. I mean, Batman 89 was the start of the superhero thing, so I get that. I'm more of it, but The Mask is like, is it better than Son of the Mask? Absolutely. Will always be? Absolutely. But for me, the Cuban Pete gets annoying. It's a little bit of The Mask goes a long way, and it goes on a little bit too much. And that's where I say, I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Liar, I have to give another chance to. Jim Carrey's good, and I know what he's trying to do in The Mask. I get it, but it comes to a point where it's like, do I need all this singing, all this stupid shit? No, not in my life. And as for Desperado, I think I said, it's longer version of El Mariachi, and the reason why I don't have that trilogy is, number one, El Mariachi is good. Desperado is longer version of that, except for the only scenes that work in Desperado is the bar scene in the middle of it where Quentin Tarantino says, what the fuck is going on here? Because he don't know. Where he's playing a guy trying to buy shit or whatever, or sell stuff, and he goes like, what the hell? Why is somebody shooting? I don't get. And that's great. In the beginning, where Steve Buscemi is describing the Mariachi character is great in that bar. And some of the action scenes are kind of good. Or that it's like, this is longer version of El Mariachi, what I'm seeing. And Once Upon a Time in Mexico is sucks ass. I'm sorry, but it sucks ass. Everyone knows Once Upon a Time in Mexico sucks ass. And nobody likes that film. And I can see why. I really do. But what I'm trying to say is, like, when did they become mainstream stuff? Now they're getting stuff like Westworld and Outland and Excalibur and even Grub Shout Factory is getting like Cloud Atlas, and which Cloud Atlas sucks. It's a drama that drags on way too long for then its own good, and that's to its own detriment. Also ruins the movie as well. I mean, I don't blame Tom Hanks or Halle Berry or whoever for doing Cloud Atlas. I really don't. They wanted to work with Wachowskis. I get it, but the film as a whole is a 3-hour garbage. And anybody who sees it said that movie just drags, and it does. And then Shout Factory's getting Grove now. I got called Grove or Groove now because that's what it is. Getting Alexander, which that movie's a painful watch because it's boring. and leaving Las Vegas, which I can't say nothing wrong about leaving Las Vegas. It's not for me, but so I get it. But yeah, every niche company now is gonna know Hong Kong stuff. In the last 2 or 3 years, it's been Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, and now Shout / Grove, which is good. And Kino's doing niche. I mean, there's doing some popular ones too, but they always have been. So that's really nothing new. Because Kino's getting himself like career opportunities, which is kind of big. Death Wish films, which they took from Vinegar Syndrome. The airport movies, which were kind of big at the time. You know, Uncle Buck, stuff like that. So those are kind of big. So I can't. Is Kino on there? Sort of, kind of. Not really. But then you have other companies that are making their own films, like Full Moon, which always done the B movie business. And then you got Subway Severn, who's doing all these B movies. And I see some of their 4Ks for Black Friday, and why are you charging $60 for a 4K on a CD? Yeah, that makes no sense. None, zero, nada. And as I said before, and I'll say this again about Lionsgate Limited. Don't be limited. Nobody wants limited. Nobody wants to pay $40 plus $8 shipping and tax. That's almost like $50-$60 for a rusty metal squeal book. Now I get those once in a while because it can't be helped. But there's no reason Night of the Living Dead 1990 through Sony had to be those rusty metal things and sell out when most people want the standard and they don't want those metal tins anymore. Nobody does. They want too much for them. They want extra $10-$20 for those things, which you get a Blu-ray for, which, okay, I get that, but you can't make a stand with 4K and a Blu-ray and have Silverado on the standard, or Panchrome on the standard, or Holy Grail on the standard, or Night of the Dead 1990 on the standard. You can't do that, or Frailty on the standard Lionsgate. At least Dama, they're doing both. But why you need to do Cheech and Chong's last movie just on the metal tin thing? Why? You don't need to. People want standard. People are sick of those metal rusty things. We don't want those. And now we're at the age where people are collecting more, are still collecting. It's more popular than ever, and yet now things will like limited edition feel like bookcases. That's where we're at now. But when did something that were obscure now become big movies and less obscure? And yet some studios are still doing obscure or reissuing their obscure titles that they came out 5 or 10 years ago. And they are, I know they are. Because you don't know what's new for Blue, and then please look if something's been reissued. If you haven't, then you should. Out there, people that have YouTube channels, I hope you do. I'm just trying to help. But furthermore, why are we getting all this mainstream stuff or popper stuff now that was on Blu-ray before? I get some companies, don't have that license and give the license to these niche companies. I get it, I do. But when did that become a thing? And now it's all less obscure. Because the movies that should be obscure aren't even on Blu-ray yet. We don't have Pin on Blu-ray. We don't have Who's the Man on Blu-ray. We don't have Fear of a Black Hat on Blu-ray or 4K. We still don't have Vamp on 4K. Okay? With extra features. We don't have that yet. Where is it? We're still waiting for the Peter Jackson trilogy set through Arrow or some company, and he's still finishing on that, which is great. So what's going on here? I mean, it's good that companies are doing it, but where's the obscure titles? Because I like to see Zone Troopers on 4K, as I don't have my Zone Troopers anymore, and there's a story about that I'm not getting into. I would see Prison reissued. I like to see Ghost Town reissued. I would see Eliminators reissued or on Blu-ray by itself. I would see Empire Pictures Catacombs on Blu-ray by itself. I would see Enemy Territory through Arrow US version, because I don't have an all-region player. And I don't trust those. People that have them, great, good for you. I'm glad you do have those. But I don't, because I heard they only last a year. So please tell me, how do all the region players last more than a year? Please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate my subscribers and your comments and any advice you have. And I'm still trying to figure out my thumbnails. But please let me know, should these niche companies do mainstream stuff, do mainstream big movies, or should they go back to B movies or movies not many people have heard of and go back to obscure? Because I didn't realize, one thing I didn't realize, and I'll say this lightly in a good light, that people don't like Vinegar Syndrome because they're doing too much mainstream stuff and less obscure, and they want more obscure and less mainstream stuff. As of Troll 2. People want Troll 2 in 4K, but then it's like, okay, we got Troll 2 through Shout Factory. We got the best worst movie on the same Blu-ray, but yet Terrorvision doing best worst movie on Blu-ray with another documentary and 3 other films on Blu-ray that most people have, or some people have, or at least one of them people have, which is 9/11 Dead, 1968. And that should be retail, not just Terrorvision. That should be on Amazon at least. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this company should not just do limited anymore, because we're sick of the limited. We're sick of those metal Blu-ray butts or 4K butts. We're sick of those too. Because every time those metal butts come out with the Blu-ray and 4K, everybody's going, where's the standard? Where's the standard? Where's the standard? And we want the standard. So companies out there, Lionsgate, I'm not calling any studio out. I'm not doing that. So don't get me, don't get me wrong here, but we would like a standard of Panic Room. We would like a standard of stuff. Instead of going to metal. We don't want metal. We don't want like 4K Blu-ray, then the Blu-ray, then the rusty metal thing. Get rid of those rusty metal things. Nobody wants them anymore. Nobody does. And I can imagine this year there's gonna be less and less of those. Because with Groove now, it's probably gonna do less and less of those. Lionsgate should not do those at all. Arrow doesn't do those. Arrow does not do those. Vinegar Syndrome doesn't do those. Kino doesn't do those. But why are big companies still doing them when nobody wants them? Nobody does. So, on that, that's what I want to talk about. So, if you have any comments, should Arrow, Kino, Vinegar Syndrome, stuff, stop, should just focus on B movies and rare, unheard of movies, just, movies that are out of the box, not many people have heard of. Please comment about that. I'd like to hear what y'all have to say about that. And please like and subscribe, and have a good weekend, and enjoy your day. That's it. Until next time, bye.